more news coming out right now. Vasiliy Lomachenko is being given a extension to his medical situation. He got a medical extension that he's been granted for the second time. And the first one was for 60 days in November, and it's expired already. Now he's been given another extension, and this time he's been given also a mandatory that he should face from the IVF. And they're saying he has a deadline at October 8th, that barring any kind of changes from what's going on, especially with Baranchik and Keyshawn Davis, they're looking at this whole situation as if Raymond Miritai or Zaire Abduliev, one of those guys, the winner of that fight, will be ordered by the IVF to fight for the interim title. In the meantime, the winner moving forward will be facing off against Lomachenko. So right now, if Raymond Miritai or Abduliev come out with that fight, that's the person he's going to be fighting next. If some situation happens where he won't fight until, let's just say, he waits till the last minute and sets him up for October, then most likely these guys will be fighting again this year, and that status will be on the line unless they're fighting for the title, unless a guy like Miritai fights a Keyshawn Davis or something. Then that would make a lot of sense. But right now, they're giving Lomachenko the option of a mandatory. And this is pretty early, man. We're talking about January 11th. And that's what, 10 months away? So we're 10 months away from Vasiliy Lomachenko possibly being forced to have a mandatory, which makes a lot of sense when you look at it, but at the same time, 10 months away is a long time. So he could wait all year. He really could. And the whole situation is kind of crazy because he hasn't really been active that much in the last, I'll say, 3 or 4 years. And we don't know if it's starting to catch up to him. Even though we don't know what his best years actually was, the years after that, he's taking a lot of those off. And that's not helping anything. That's worse than taking your best years off, because now everything he experienced and learned over the last 4 or 5 years especially, it's kind of went out the window because he's not as active and he's not being able to fine-tune those things. And from what I've seen, he's faced a lot of 135s, but not many that's just solid 135s. You know what I'm saying? It's been a couple of guys that was in between. I know he fought Jermaine Ortiz. That was one. They had the Luke Campbell situation and others. But another situation that kind of caught me off guard was when the Castacian, I knew that was going to be a fight that was going to get made, but at the same time, wasn't really expecting it at the time. But, up until this point, Lomachenko has done what he needs to as far as everything at 130. At 35, a lot of people still feel like he needs to fight Tank Davis. They want to see that fight bad. Not really a lot of other options. It's not really a big push. People want to see him fight Shakur Stevenson. Not as big of a push as it is for him to fight Tank Davis. That's the fight that everybody wants to see. But for them to give him an extension and everything else, they must know a lot more about the situation than we do. And it doesn't seem like he's going to retire anytime soon. I had kind of leaned towards that last year when Bob had said that he'll come back mid-2025. A lot of people did not like when I put that video out. Sometimes when I put these information out and I speak a couple of months ahead, people do not like that. They do not want to hear me say something different than what they're thinking, because they feel like, well, this fight's coming up next. Bro, it's not coming up next. It's not. The Tank Davis situation, as far as they thought he was going to fight last year, I knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew it wasn't. It just was too good to be true in a lot of situations, and the way they went about it was just surprising. So, yeah, I definitely wasn't surprised by that. But, it's a good situation to have, man. Lomachenko got a lot of options. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.